Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on stage 4 of the Alien Xenomorph from Agora, which is for the book says it is the right hand and the skull, number 1. So let me go ahead and get the parts out of these noisy bags. It looks like we are starting on the arm. So this is the right radius. So this part right here. We've got the back part of the hand, some fingers, some short LED strip, a couple of screws. Get this stuff out. So we got some screws here, a couple of screws. We got some magnets and a what do they call this? Connector. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing it says to do is fit. Which one is it? Is it numbered? R2. Okay. Fit R2 onto the finger here. I think that's the right spot. Yeah, that is. Just looking, and what we've got is a couple of pins. Well, a pin here. Oh, and it looks like a post, but it's actually another pin. And those are going to line up here and here. And it says once you have them in place to glue them. So you test fit first and then you glue. And it's going to be a little bit interesting because of the way it's put in here. It's got to kind of slide back just like that. So it goes on there like that. And I think I can use the regular super glue. All I'm going to do, got a little bit of the, okay, there it is. Was looking for my piece of plastic, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue into those two spots where the posts are, and we'll see how that looks. I think it should be fine. I think putting it all the way down the seam might be a little bit overkill. So take some here, put it down in this post area, down inside where the post is going to go. And then do it on top of the lug there as well, because this should bottom out, and once it's in place it should lock into place really well. The key thing is super glue dries pretty fast, so you got to get it in there before it sets. And I think, like I said, I think that should work just fine. I'm not going to worry about the seam here. If I put a bunch of glue on this seam, what would happen is it would seep out and look, you'd be able to see it. So we're going to do the same thing on this part over here. Again, 2 posts or 2 lugs, 2 pins. Come on, focus. 2 pins on here. Test fit it first. Make sure it will fit in there. And it does. It actually, that one snapped in, and I could leave it with no glue. Might have to leave it with no glue because it doesn't want to come back out. Let's see if I can get it back out without a whole ton of trouble. It truly did not want to come back out of there. Where'd my glue go? Oh, there it is. I heard that, Ian. Ian just said over there. Okay, so a little bit of glue in each of these. A little bit of glue on the top. You'll notice I'm using regular super glue, not the black super glue, because this is not going to flex at all. This is all hard plastic. Come on, get back in there. Now it's not wanting to go back together. Let's get in there. Note to self, next time something doesn't want to come apart, leave it there. You don't need to take it apart to glue it. What I'm actually doing is I'm trying to see posts so that I know that they're lining up. And it went in there so well originally. That's what I was afraid of. I kept messing with it until it broke. So now I got to put glue along the seam. Like I said, if it fits, if it doesn't want to come back apart, let it be. Fortunately, I can put glue on the seam towards the other finger and it will not seep out anywhere. I just got a little bit of glue on my fingers and tried to glue myself together. That is a hazard of when you use super glue. Okay, let me see if I can get this back on here. And you can see there the post that I broke off. So let this be a lesson to you if you ever build this. If you're dry fitting and it fits and doesn't want to come apart, let it be. Because I think this post is going to end up breaking off as well before I get it where it needs to be. Maybe. Okay, that post is in. And see, this post never went in. The back post back here broke off. So I should be able to push it together with the super glue, have it. It's still popping up a little bit. Add a little bit more glue right here. And I'm sure somebody who's watched either Wayne or Kev when they did this yelled at me for taking it back apart. Or maybe even Wayne or Kev. Okay, so, and there is a little bit of shininess from the glue, which is what I wanted to avoid. Okay, that's catching now. And instead of risking having to take it back apart, I'm just going to put some glue in here because it seemed to go pretty well the first time. The post seemed to go really well in there. First time, it was when I took it out and tried to do it a second time that it didn't want to cooperate. That one is a little bit different. This one looks like you need to put the top one in first. The bottom, push them both in. And let me see. Yeah, that one's good. That one's set up enough. It's not coming apart. That one's in. Put this post on, or this connector on here. Grab the screw out. There's two of them. One is a spare. I am actually really happy with the number of different types of screws that there are in the Alien Xenomorph. Get rid of that plastic. And tighten this connector down. And like I usually do, I'm just tightening it enough to stay in place. I'm not going to tighten it down tight. That way, when it comes time to put the other half of the hand on here, I can still work with it a little bit. interestingly, it has magnets. Let me see. Just looking. 6 magnets, and I'm looking to see where they're used. They are left over at the end. So let me pause the camera for a second here. Let me get the head because we're going to be putting the LED strip inside of the head. Like I said, these magnets are left for a later stage. I think looks like there's going to be a ball socket coming out of here. The magnets are going to go in here. But so let me pause the camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I have the head, and actually not supposed to have it put together this way. This is just how I store it. Pop top here just comes off really easily. Let me set this part aside. And what they want you to do is take the motor part here for the jaws out. And, well, before that, actually, looking up and actually looking at the instructions, they want you to take the test board, which we got way back in stage 3, plug the 9-volt adapter in here, and they want you to plug it into a 9-volt battery. I don't happen to have a 9-volt battery. I do have my power supply though, so I can take this adapter here, plug the lights in, and it's just to make sure that these lights are good. Make sure it goes this way. And then I already got the power supply set to 9 volts. And some people have said that they don't think this is realistic because it wasn't in the movie. Wow. Very interesting. I just put 9 volts in here. And I killed my test board. That's not good. It's kind of odd that a 9-volt test board didn't take 9 volts. Sure, I did not kill the LEDs, but yeah, I don't know if you saw it. The magic smoke came out of the test board, which means my test board is no good anymore. There's only one way this will fit on here. That is really odd. Let's see. 9-volt battery. Yeah, I'm just looking. Okay. So I'll contact Agora and say I plugged 9 volts into it from my power supply, and my power supply said, no, not anymore. But what I can do still, since I have the power supply, is I can still check and make sure the lights are good. And you can see there, the lights are still good. Or the lights are good. LED strip should outlast us, just about. Really wonder what happened, because this board has been in a bag forever. But like I said, I will touch base with Agora and we'll worry about that later. Go ahead and get the head, and we will take the jaw piece out. 4 screws in here. Put them in a long time ago. I kind of like the idea of the head lighting up. I just watched Kevin over on the Nexus, his final video on his, and I like it. He had it in a lit room, so you couldn't tell what the lights did. I will be putting lights in. I may add lights to it. I'm also planning on putting a wall power to it somehow. Hopefully that board gets replaced at some point, and that's not the actual end board. So pull this out, and let's see, where does it say to put the LED strip? The LED strip goes up in here. Let me see which way they have it pointing. They've got the they've got the power lead coming back this way. Carefully. Just okay, and so we'll put it in here. It says to make sure you got it positioned right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up right here with the front edge, and then I'm going to lay it down on here. The 3M tape should hold it relatively well, but I also know that 3M tape can let go. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue back here on this end, not up here on the front towards the clear parts. I do not want that to fog. And now that that's in place, it's also what it's also doing, since it's covering the wires, is it's going to make sure that the wires do not come out. We're going to drip a little bit of accelerant on here. It's an exothermic reaction. Don't put this stuff on your fingers if you've got super glue on them. And that will hold this in place here, and also leave the lead out here where you can get to it. I was going to retest the jaws again, but that's not going to work since the board just popped. Get this back in place, and then put the screws back in to hold the motor and the jaws in place. I think this one just popped off. Nope. I was going to say I thought it would pop off the post, but it did not. Tighten that one all the way down. Tighten this one all the way down. Once I get it threaded, all of them should be good. First one, I only got it threaded. I didn't snug it down, so I'm going to snug this one down first, and then this one. And now you can see it's back in place, and you can see right there the power wire for the LEDs. I believe, let me take a look at the instructions. Yes, that is all there is to do in this issue. So, hope you're enjoying this build. It's trying at times, but it is a good build. I'm enjoying it. Like and subscribe. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers and see what we're doing. We do a stream on Friday evenings and Wednesday afternoons. Links are in the description. Hit the bell icon to be notified of whenever I post new content. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you on the next video.